Oh, Mr. West couldn't because he's. Okay, good. Okay, we'll call to order the regular council meeting for November 3rd. I'd ask for any additions to the agenda. Okay. Could I have approval of the agenda, please?
Sir, can I make a motion that we move the delegation forward of planning matters? Item 7, item 8, just reverse those.
Okay. Ask for approval of the agenda, please. Mary, Amy, all in favor? Carried. Declaration of pecuniary interest or the general nature thereof. Seeing none, I'll ask for an adoption of the council meeting minutes of October 6th, please. Randy, Amy, all in favor? Carried. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, so the last time that we had council, Mrs. Bailey came from the arena board, or from the arena, and as a delegation.
Yes.
She said some very kind things that we didn't get an opportunity to pass on to the public because of whatever took place with this setup here. So if the public are interested, Mrs. Bailey made some very nice comments about how we did the arena agreement. And since then, I think that we have something back from Senator Hastings, which is more to what we were doing. Anyway, long story short, I just want her to be recognized for what she did with the public, because basically even know that she came to the meeting. It's not in the minutes what she said, and it's not on the air because it didn't work. So that's it. Thank you.
We have to apologize. Our audio wasn't working that night apparently. So I guess I should take a minute and apologize for anybody that's listening tonight for the late start, but that was a worthwhile hour. So okay. Yeah, statutory public meetings, we have none. Planning matters, Amanda, I'll turn that over to you.
What were things going? But
Okay, I'd ask for a resolution to defer the resolution for the Mocha Quarry. Carrie, Randy, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Presentations and delegations. Third.
Thank you very much, honorable members. Is that better?
Yeah.
So I get on the internet. I'll try not to rehash a lot of what was said tonight. I know time is valuable. I would like to discuss, though, in the summary statement and planning report by EcoView Consulting, that section 2.3 I mentioned earlier for the new application, asking to load trucks, take deliveries, and harvest trees, among other things, outside of quarry working hours. They already have 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. I can attest to the fact that this rule is ignored all the time currently. And I'm sure that's probably why they are asking for that. But I'll bring this point to you. The second a truck is loaded, it is going to pull out of there and it is going to come onto a township road. Second that happens, it's your problem. on Saturday morning, on Sunday morning, Friday night at 8 o'clock, whatever they deem fit. I really think this is too broad and too sweeping an ask and puts the township in a really tough position. While we're on the subject, I would like to ask if Township Council feels that a traffic study done in 2008, 13 years ago, is representative of the road conditions today. This is the study that's cited with all these reports. It's still based on the 2008 study. It's not a new study. Many things have changed. Our Amish community is growing. We have horses and buggies out there. We have, in our new reality with social distancing and working from home, a lot more people are walking on the roads in Madoc Township. I see it quite a bit. I'm quite surprised. Also, the four-wheeler traffic that we have on O'Hara is substantial. It's substantial partially because the Eastern Ontario Trails Alliance advertises the Central Hastings Heritage Loop as being a thing. Now, granted, they suggest that four-wheelers, come up to Madoc and take Highway 62 up to El Dorado to catch the trail again. I have not seen a four-wheeler on Highway 62. I just haven't. They're all on O'Hara Road. Anybody in the know knows this. I just don't think it's a great idea to have pedestrians, horses and buggies, four-wheelers, regular truck traffic, and commercial truck traffic, especially on the weekends and outside of normal business hours, running up and down O'Hara Road. Certain things were said regarding tonnage, and my very first question to Perry was with regards to the current tonnage. He made the statement there are about 35,000 tons. Okay. I'd like to know, is that tonnage going to be verified by the Ontario Aggregate Resources Corporation? Because honestly, they are the only people who verify that information. Anybody can tell us anything, but they're the people who pay you and decide when you get your money for your quarry. That's where it comes from. That information is also somewhat, to my understanding, under a Privacy of Information Act. So, there's a big difference here, because if he's talking about 35,000 tons and that's the current level, okay, but their licensed amount is that 165,000 tons. If they want to change that, they don't have to ask anybody. They just keep going up. What assurances are going to be in there that we stay at this 35,000 ton limit? Because that's just arbitrary. And who is going to enforce that in the future? Because getting information out of the Ontario Aggregate Resources Corporation is not easy. So who's going to enforce it? We kind of beat water to death earlier tonight. I just want to restate testing of the water. When I hear an MNR person in good faith, as far as I know, refer to what they've been told as the information is rather vague, I start to get a little concerned about that. I want things to be done correctly, and I want our water to be tested in such a way that it's accurate and that it's good for everyone in the community and for the municipality of Center Hastings, for that matter. I understand that the township does not have a noise bylaw. I kind of understand why. I appreciate that fact. I really don't want a single commercial activity to dictate having to go down the road of having to make one. And if that can be dealt with at the source, then maybe we don't have to. But in lieu of that, noise is going to be something that is going to drag the township into the middle of it. I was quite surprised this evening to hear there were a couple other noise complaints, a couple other people inquiring about it. I'll put it that way. I was quite surprised at that, but it's very relevant to this. So that's one other thing. I just want to thank you for your time and your patience in all this. I know this will be a long process, and your attention to the detail of it is much appreciated by me. Thank you very much.
Oh, no, thank you, Doug. Yep. Got a question. Your information is very thorough. I like the way it's presented. In my opinion, there's one more place you should present it.
Okay.
That's at county planning.
I would love to.
Okay. When this hits the county planning agenda, you're the guy who should be sitting there. No, actually, that's where, we can do our best to sift this information and make our decision. But the county level is where the real, comments like your own and concerns should be heard. Because that's really where it'll be made.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, Lloyd,
Okay.
and I certainly will take that opportunity if Amanda, and I will reach out to Emily as well at the county,
Yeah.
who is probably sick of me by now. I'll reach out to her and try to get on that when it's appropriate.
Now, I have a planning meeting in 2 weeks Tuesday, but I haven't seen the agenda yet, so, yeah. The best thing to do is reach out to Emily. Okay.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
So I don't understand how that planning stuff works, as far as, a meeting that they might have about this. But can guests sit in on that?
For me?
Can guests sit in on those meetings?
Yes.
Okay.
The planning development meeting is really the nuts and the bolts of all the information, all the feedback and all the input. We make our decision there, then we make the recommendation to county council.
So is that allowed now, or is it Zoom?
We were hoping this month we will be live.
Okay.
If not, it'll be by Zoom, but
I'd appreciate knowing when that meeting is. I would attend that.
Yeah.
If it's about our rezone.
if we end up doing it by Zoom, we're hoping to be once again live in Belleville, and that'd be ideal for this situation. But if we end up on Zoom, I would recommend that whoever wants to do that is just to come here. And that's way anybody but me will be here. Well, I'll be here too, well, really, if it's by Zoom. So, yeah. We'll all be here.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to attend that just to, take notes, actually.
Or if it's live, we'll be in Belleville.
Okay. Thanks, Amanda.
If I may, just one comment to Mr. Blackburn's comments. Keeping in mind that the county does play a huge role in this, which it does, please, though, don't think that we, as a township, do not have a say in this. This is in our township. This is our water we're dealing with, and downstream water, other municipalities' water as well. Please don't think that the county is the be-all and end-all to this, and rest assured that we have a say, because we truly do. It's in our township. Thanks.
Believe me, we have a say, and depending on what this council decides, everybody hears me down there. But all of county council needs to hear another voice other than just mine. And that's especially if we have, concerns such as yours and the depth of knowledge and background that you're bringing here. So, yeah, it's the rest of you know how democracy works. Yeah. You grew up in it. Thanks, Doug. Okay, we'll move on. Amanda, what else do you have? No, nothing yet. Thanks, Doug. That's it for you, Amanda.
For planning, it's just my report.
Okay, we'll have ask for a resolution to accept Amanda's lab plan report. Carrie, Amy, all in favor? Carried.
Sorry, can I do my report?
Do you want to do your report?
Yeah. If you don't,
Sure.
can.
I thought you said you were done.
I was done planning.
Okay. Do your report, Amanda.
So the first part of my report is all the past years we've done. I just wanted to get an approval on that. If everyone was okay with it.
This is the office hours we're looking at here.
Yes. Office only.
Okay.
Yeah, historically, you guys actually, I'm sorry, you're right. You would take that week off, but if there's a storm, you're in anyway. So, I mean, in past years, you've pretty much been here the whole time anyway, which is unfortunate.
All right. Everybody good with that? Yep. Randy, Larry, all in favor? Carried.
Okay, so my next point was the first meeting in January. Doesn't really give time. I think we come back on a Tuesday and the first meeting's supposed to be that Wednesday, so I don't have time to make an agenda. So I was proposing the 19th, because that would give time to do the agenda and hand it out before.
Larry, Amy, all in favor? Carried.
Also the Christmas advertisement in the Tweed News that we usually do every year. It might be too late to get it in. I'm not sure what their cutoff was, but, if we can get it in, if everyone's okay. It just lists our holiday hours. So we couldn't tell them until we got them approved. But if they're not there, we'll have them on Facebook and on our website too. So. Yeah, I think so. So the next item, I've been approached by the snowmobile club. And they used to have permission to go through people's properties on public school road. They no longer have permission to go through some properties, so they're asking if they can travel up the road from 329 public school road to 407, 400 meters. They would just go up the side of the road. They do that on Remington Road right now, but they need to ask permission before they can run the side of the road.
There's no housing on Remington Road though, where they.
Right, you're right.
There's all kinds of housing where this takes place.
Mm-hmm.
Big
So
deal.
they'd not be running down the road. They'd be on the side of the road so that they're not on the hard top.
The big question for me is snowmobiles is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I will say loud and clear, groomer cannot be on our hard top.
No, so I asked her that too. The groomer will lift his blade across the road and then groom on the other side.
But he's going down the road.
Oh,
He's got
He's on track. He's on track. We've experienced that before and it costs us a lot of money.
okay.
Remember that one? So this. So despite what we decide for snowmobiles, the groomer, this is where this gets tricky. The groomer has to travel the same trail to get back on that other end.
No.
So they're coming out currently at Derek Chapman's, right? And go where they're going back in. They're going down to Sutcliffe, right? Yeah. Where the trail is, yeah. It's quite a hike, and they got corners. So they got a 90 up school, and they got another 90 at Sutcliffe on the bottom end.
Mhm.
I don't think it's even a good idea for snowmobiles.
And the snowmobiles will take the hard top as opposed to we see what happens every road crossing they cross. Nobody knows ease on the throttle. They have to go full bore and those studs and cleats and carbides.
I don't mean to be the bad guy here, like, I'm matter of fact.
No, I'm for the trails, but
Trail Alliance, half, but it's my municipality, so.
yeah, and we can't afford to fix a road that we just resurfaced.
So is there an alternate? I guess they'll have to find an alternate route. Get permission from property owners.
But that trail only takes them into Madoc, right?
Yeah.
Right, it goes right into Madoc.
It comes out right there by Irwin's.
Yep.
And crosses 62 and then comes in the backside of Tim Hortons and, Ultramar. Yeah.
Let's see, there's not another route. If they take the Heritage Trail, they gotta jump down and go down O'Hara. They have to go down O'Hara Road, because there's no trails down the west or east side of the township here. Into Madoc. They'd have to run down O'Hara and jump 7.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's right. They can't even get into Madoc, really. Right? Yeah. I can live with the snowmobiles if they can figure out an alternative for the groomer.
Well, I'm not sure we can tell a snowmobiler they can't travel our road then. Like, a four-wheeler has the right to travel the road, and I think the snowmobiler has the same right to travel the road. I don't think there's any law that says you can't drive. For the life of me, I can't see why there would be. They drive our roads, they drive our gravel roads all the time.
Yep, they do.
And there's no law that says you can't drive it on a gravel road. I would say that a snowmobile can probably travel our roads the same way an ATV can. Because they're licensed. Matter of fact, they probably got more licenses and money spent in that than ATVs do. Seriously. These people that do the snowmobiling are fully licensed, heritage trails. These guys are like big time into this. So I'm not sure we can tell them they can't go down the road. That's what I was going to bring here tonight. Are we going to pass a law that says they can't drive on our
They're
road?
probably, if I have to, I shouldn't be guessing, but I would assume they're asking your permission so that for their mapping and their grooming and their maintenance.
Well, we definitely don't want a groomer on the trail.
No.
They may have to have a trail without a groomed trail from the schoolhouse into Madoc. I don't know.
So if I hear you right, you're okay with the snow? Yeah. We're okay with the snowmobiles, but not, the groomer cannot travel that, whatever that distance is. Pardon me? Yeah, turn around, go back. Turn around, go back. This is gonna be an issue. We've even talked to the Trail Alliance because as properties change hands, the old settlers, like the Dwayne Foley's, that were all pretty obliging to outdoor rec, but now as properties change hands, not so much. So this is gonna become an issue. But, yep. But that's for the snowmobile club to figure out how they want to work that grooming.
Why don't we, leave the snowmobiles the way they are? Not say anything because I really don't think we should say anything.
You probably need a resolution.
But okay, so I'll make a resolution that we tell these people we do not want that groomer on our road. Or we will be asking for damages if it causes. Then leave it at that.
But you're approving the snowmobile traffic as part of their trail?
Just leave the snowmobile traffic out of it. Because I don't think you have the right to tell them one way or the other.
Right?
I was trying to look it up. I can maybe find something.
I think they want your permission, Larry, so they can map you. It's for their mapping. Or you can leave it like that. I don't care.
They can map it any way they want to map.
Yeah.
Be very careful of how, and I would ask Carrie to step in here. We should be very careful of setting out this 350 meters, that we're not setting some precedents that we start to set for something else. So I would just stay out of it. We don't need to be involved in it. If they want to drive down the road, they can drive down the road. If they want to use it to map, they can easily put our road on their map for mapping. We don't need to be involved, I don't think, because I wouldn't want to see it go somewhere else. And it could.
Everybody good with that? Motion by Larry, second by Amy.
Right.
All in favor? Heard.
Next thing was I was speaking with Fred Bendel, and he wanted to extend the invitation for the annual Festival of Trees, which is November 18th in town at the Quanah Center. And Deputy Mayor Rollins has volunteered to speak at the event. So I guess we don't need a motion because somebody already said that they would do it. 7. Or I believe at 7.
That's actually the VIP night.
It doesn't say to RSVP.
No,
No.
no.
You just dress up and go. Okay, so the next thing is the new drawing of the office floor plan in the fire hall. Marco supplied that, or Cornerstone Construction supplied that to us at our fire committee meeting. Shows the layout before and the layout now, ensuring that there's sufficient space for both male and female and unisex bathrooms.
I have some questions, sir. I wish the chief would have been here to answer some of them. I don't know whether does anybody know, can we or can we not put other than the one that's sort of the hallway here, can we not put doors into the fire hall? Northbrook has their washroom doors into the fire hall for for the male, female, and their alternate washroom into the fire hall. So right now they're showing all the rooms with doors other than one out of everything. So everything the main traffic on the hall has to go through from the fire hall, and then everybody access all the other rooms internally, as opposed to even the radio room. On the new plan, the radio room is next to the office, so they're going to run from the office or from their fire hall around through to answer the radio in the main office. On the original plan, it was better with the radio room being inside the first door. So it would have been better with the other washroom there. So I'm not sure whether sufficient size for the utility room, because Northbrook, wherever they built for their utility room, they run out of space. So it's also on if we could put the doors from our locker change rooms into the fire hall, technically we could take up the wasted space, which is a 5 foot wide by 7 foot, which is a hallway going into the men's locker room, which could be facilitated to enlarge the female. And I don't see any toilet in this situation. Somebody must have just forgot to draw it on. And the hall sizing for their training room, Northbrook's room is 28 by 28, and they say it just fits 29 or 25 firefighters on a training night, on a classroom session. And previously I have asked 3 times at least about this drawing and this plan, and 3 times I was told that the office was going to be facing this building. By this drawing and the previous drawings that we have received, the office entrance is on the other side of the ballpark, which is not, it's beyond changing now because the footings and the concrete walls have been poured with their entrance and exit doors, which I was given 3 times. Yes, the office will be facing this hall. 3 times I asked, 3 times I got the same answer, but it is not that case on this drawing or any previous drawings. And from the very start of our process, I had made a comment that I really didn't want this to look like a barn. And if we don't put anything but one exit door and no windows in that whole span, that's what it looks like, is a barn. We should be making this thing look presentable to the road, that people know what we built, not just a straight building. And yes, it is a hall, but don't know why we can't incorporate 2 windows in there and one in the lunchroom training room. Would at least be better than a whole wall of one door. And we, from the originally started out too, we're looking for a bunker gear room. Did we totally throw away our bunker gear room, which they were needing to be separated for the off-gassing? And
You looking at me?
I'm looking at anybody who can answer that question.
Well, Mr. Chair,
Thank the firefighters who designed their building.
Yes, I understand that, sir, but
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
unless the firefighters are putting a building up that I'm very confident that we're all going to be very proud of. Moving a door or whatever, I appreciate people's concerns, but I have left this totally, personally, as chair of the fire committee, I have spent a lot of time with this, believe me, as I know you know I have. I listen to what the firemen want, respecting that they speak for all firefighters, ladies and gentlemen. They're doing their utmost to get this right. Please, let's just give them a chance to get it right. I know we all have questions, but they're doing their utmost best to get this right. Marco is work with them. We have changed things around. They have all kinds. If Councillor Rowe wants to ask questions, then he knows, and you've all been invited to any meetings we have. You can come to meetings, you can voice your opinion. As I do chair the committee, and you can bet that we very much run it like a committee. But if you have concerns, and you wish those concerns to be told to the fire people on this building, I would suggest that you come to our next meeting and bring your stuff that you want to talk about. And much like a delegation that comes to this committee, you can speak to them and you can tell them what your concerns are. But I don't think that this council needs to hear any more about some of these concerns, because you are right. You have addressed these concerns. It's just that the firemen were given the mandate to put this together. And I'm trying my utmost to work with them to let them do that. And so is the mayor. And so has all of this council, including Councillor Beaton, who attends all our fire meetings. So I do listen to your concerns. But I will say I'm getting just a trifle bit frustrated.
The only other point I'd make at this point, we're getting, well, as far as moving doors and stuff, that outside doors now, we're beyond that point because the cement's poured. But sooner or later, Marco has to come up with a set of prints of this inside layout. And every change we make, it's going to cost you money. Because every change you make has to be changed on the engineered drawing. Because it's things inspected according to drawing. So from this, yeah. If we're happy with this floor plan, it's the fire department's floor plan, not mine. So I'm good. I'm good with it.
Can
I'm
I
good with
say
it.
something?
Yes, ma'am.
So I would like to make the motion that council approves the proposed floor plan that was planned by our fire department.
Okay. And with some input, they made some changes to better suit the ladies, I believe. So hats off to them. Okay, that was a motion. We have a seconder. Do we have a seconder? All in favor?
Make a comment, sir?
Yes, sir.
On that note from the deputy mayor, he said about me bringing my concerns to the meeting. So if we make this as, my concerns at the next meeting is null and void, because we're not going to change it after we made the motion to pass it at this meeting. So there's no sense of me even trying to make an amend to a next meeting. So, and it's not that I haven't from day one stated these issues, and so it's not that everybody doesn't know what I wanted from day one.
Can I say something? So I understand Councillor Rose and respect your opinion, and your comments were brought to the committee, and the fire department was aware, but we don't always get what we want, in short. And this is what the fire department wants.
On your number of doors going from your main hall into your office space, so to speak, that red line there, that's a fire separation wall. Fire.
Yeah, I understand that, yes.
Minimum of an hour and a half fire separation. So the more openings you put in that wall, the thicker that whole wall becomes. Cause you gotta make up that hour and a half fire separation. So if you go from 1 door to 4, that means adding a whole lot more money to that red dotted line there to gain that hour and a half. You'll never gain it, but that's just the way building code works. So that's maybe one of Marco's thoughts there. I'm not an engineer. I didn't draw this, but that's what that red line is there. Okay. We had a motion and a seconder in favor of the floor plan. All in favor? Motion carried. Amanda, anything else?
There was just one more note I wanted to make. Shannon has it all set up that we can now receive donations for the fire hall through e-transfer. So it's e-transfer at madoc.ca. And they just have to include all of their information, including their name, middle initial, and last name. And we'll put that out on Facebook.
Beautiful, thank you.
And then just accept my report.
I think we already did that. A motion to accept Amanda's report, please. Larry and Amy. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Treasury report, Amanda. Sorry, Shannon.
Amanda can do it. No. So just a short report tonight. Anybody have any questions or concerns about the voucher listing? It's much smaller than last month. I was happy to see that.
Yeah, I like that amount.
Yeah.
You do that every month?
Yeah, I wish.
Motion to pay the vouchers, please. Carrie. Randy, all in favor? Carried.
I just wanted to let council know, at our December 1st meeting, I will have obviously up till that point, but have a year-end budget or, budget. So, everyone can start thinking about budget planning for next year. And just a update from MPAC. I put the report in there, but they just wanted to let us know that as it stands right now, the assessments will not be going up. So they'll be staying the same. And she did say once they hear from the province, they will let us know, what's happening. Just the report on funding, just so you guys are aware, it's a little bit less than last year, but not terribly different. Fundings and grants, they've slowed down a little bit, I think, for this year. We just keep I've been taking a couple webinars to try and understand what they want and that sort of thing. There's some new regulations. The gas tax, funding will be called, part of the Canada Community Building Fund. So the CCBF, it will no longer be called gas tax after next year's reporting and stuff is done. They're just combining it all into one so that the gas tax will it's not going to be just for roads. There'll be more options to use it for different things. And then, staff recognition and Christmas party. So since our last council meeting, there's been some concerns and questions. So I just wanted us to be able to talk about that. I don't know if anyone wants. Yeah.
I think that the number that was proposed at the last meeting for the Christmas dinner was a bit extravagant. And it doesn't really seem right, kind of the way everything is right now, to get everyone together and spend so much money on a Christmas meal. So then in turn, that makes us think the recognition awards, how would we give them out? So we can either go ahead with recognition awards and just kind of hand them out during the day, or we can wait and have time and maybe put something in the budget if everyone agrees on it for Christmas celebration the next year, including all the service awards. But that's totally.
We just felt like it wouldn't make it important.
It's a
Yeah.
little more special when you have people together and you present an award than to just hand it to them at their desk, right? But either way, a recognition award is nice. So.
Yeah, I appreciate the way you're thinking. I don't see us at a time like this right now. We're out fundraising, we're out campaigning and trying to get people to help us out to do a major project, and then we turn around and treat ourselves. I don't think it's the right time. Just isn't. So.
Yeah, we thought after.
The staff recognition thing is something that went by the wayside. I'm a firm believer in staff recognition, years of service and stuff. For some reason or another, it went by the wayside. Yeah, I'd very much like to get that back on track. So, maybe let's just get through the holidays and then we can figure out what to do, how we recognize our staff, because they do deserve to be recognized. So, yeah. Good with that?
Just one more question regarding Christmas. In previous years, we have done turkeys for staff. Are we going to continue that this year?
I would love to be part of that, but we had a delegation say something last meeting about you can't really do potluck. So that would pretty well, I think, put a damper on if we did a
Oh,
luncheon thing.
just the, sorry, I didn't clear it. Just meant the, like, each staff member got a whole
Sorry, I misunderstood.
that was my fault.
I would say that personally, that's a small way of recognizing their records for the year. All of our staff has been. I can't make that a resolution though. Gary, would make that as a resolution?
I'll second that.
Gary, all in favor? Carried.
That's it. I guess I don't have that line, but I just need acceptance of my report.
So, Amy, Carrie, for Shannon's report. All in favor? Carried. Okay, roads, Michael.
In my report, I basically just a list of stuff. I don't know, the first thing on there is, so our, OSM report for our bridges and large culverts. Our inspections have to be done every 2 years. So anyways, it's complete. I've read through it. It'll help us with our budget. There are a few things I think we should address in the next year or so. So I will bring bringing that forth to the budget. If anybody wants a copy or to see it, I can get you guys a copy of the report, right? Other than that, just basically, we got just saying that we got the great, we finally got parts for our other grader. They came in, it's together. And, Parks Road, we got gravelled. I don't have, the exact amount yet. I haven't received a bill from Drain Brothers. And just things that we've been doing, right? Our annual safeties, for the trucks, have to be done by the end of November. So, we're ahead of the game there. Greenwood was in and did some small, repairs, to the road. They don't want, that's pretty much it, right? They don't want to, I don't know.
They don't want to be called again.
No. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it, right? And then the brushing that, Councillor Rowe was asking about was finished. All right. Any other questions or concerns?
Question, comment for Mike? On roads, I have spoke with Amanda, and I'd like to get a real good early start on our projects, or whatever, our wish lists and whatever, and so-called budget this year. So I've asked Amanda to put, an agenda for a meeting for the third week of November, so we can get started. And this one will be pertain just to roads. But I'd like a best suited time that works for everybody.
I have election training on the 16th and 17th.
Oh, what's a good time for? I'll make anything work. But I'd like everybody here, so really I'm looking at Carrie and Amy. For me? No, I don't. Yeah. So third,
Morning's good.
what?
For me, I can do Monday, Tuesday morning, Wednesday afternoon, or Thursday or Friday. But,
I think I have training on Tuesday.
oh, okay.
Don't I? I can't bring my calendar up. I'm not here. I
I think that they just want to talk. Oh, yeah. Sorry. So Tuesday's out?
I have, training on Tuesday.
Okay.
I tried to, I'll be all right for Tuesday afternoon, later.
I'm in election training Tuesday.
You're in election training Tuesday. We're both out.
Can we do Friday morning, 9:00? 8:30? Is that too early? No? Sure. Okay. Are they off all week? Okay. Yeah.
In the morning?
9? Is that too early? Can you get here for 9, Randy? Yeah.
You said so about.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll send an agenda of sorts.
You'll have some stuff ready for us to, that's what you are. Good. Good. That's that. So anything else for Mike? Nope. Motion to accept Mike's road report, please. Randy? Larry? All in favor? Carried. Okay, now we're. Reports of advisory committees of council. Fire committee minutes of October 25th. Amy. Randy. All in favor? Carried. Committee of adjustment minutes for October 6th. Larry, Amy, all in favor? Carried. Reports of statutory committees, boards, and external agencies. Resolution to accept Center Hastings Public Library and Community Policing Advisory Committee, both of them. Amy. Carrie. All in favor? Carried. Correspondence. Everybody's read, studied, and reread correspondence, and I need a resolution to receive and file. Larry. Amy. All in favor? Carried. Anything under unfinished business? Excellent. Bylaws. Amanda.
Okay, so we don't have to, you don't have to pass this bylaw tonight if you don't want to. You've read through it. It's just it's regulating trailers and tents within the township. Applying some kind of parameters around that and some fees. If I get this right, if everyone agrees on the bylaw and they agree with the fees, or the fines, I can then send them into the AGCO to get approval, and then we can have fines. But we can do the fees first without approval from the AGCO.
Questions or comments on the bylaw? Carrie.
No, it's just a schedule, so it's a separate document. Right.
Any more questions or concerns on that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So does this open it up that all the trailers that we have now are going to stay where they're put? Is that what this is going to do?
I would, say I would hope not.
No, but I mean, but then do we not open up liability that if we allow trailers to stay year round, even if somebody comes and pays the fee, and there's an issue with a fire or a death, are we as township not liable as a non-suitable housing?
Well, there's a lot of parameters that they have to meet. I don't know, Carrie, would we be liable because we're allowing them to stay in a trailer? As long as we.
But we are also allowing them to be there. So that's what I mean, our bylaw stands now that you can't live in a trailer. I mean, I understand that if somebody, this is really vague too. I mean, if somebody comes down and wants to go camping, general day camping, so they have to buy a license or pay a fee if they have a piece of property and they want to come down and spend an overnight and go back to wherever they live, and that's all they do is once or twice a year. It's totally different than what we're seeing out there right now, because it's not a tent issue that's the issue right now, it's the trailer issue. And our bylaws, it states you can't live in any trailers, so I don't know why we're pushing. I understand it's a income revenue, but I can't see anybody wanting to live in a trailer over a winter. If this was the case for summer stuff, from May to 1st of May to the end of October, I would be more for it than opposed to a year round, because I don't want to see anybody trying. I've hunted a little slide-in camper and they are impossible to try to heat. So anybody that's living in these things now with kids and trying to heat them, where you run into, if this heating system doesn't work, now you increase the heating system and eventually, you could have a potential fire, and, That's the worst case scenario.
Did you, get this from another municipality?
Yes, I did.
So we're not building something new.
No.
We're actually following.
Yeah, what other municipalities are doing. The problem is that they're showing up everywhere, whether we want them to or not. So we can go the bylaw way and take everybody to court and try and pull them out of where they are, or we can put some regulations around it. That was my thought process for this.
I think that some of the issue too is like, Randy, I'll speak to yours and doing enforcement, is we're never going to pick up those people that come for one day and leave, right? Like we're just not, that's not the intent of this either. So I think that there's obviously discretion used, but into that, the big thing is right now when we have a trailer that comes and plops, there's little that we can do without actually going through a litigious process and going to court. This gives us some ability to know where they are, which is that much better for fire services instead of not knowing where they are. We can make sure they're on properties that are accessible. We can also, now we have the ability to set fine if they're not, we don't like what they're doing. So it's a little bit easier than going to court. We can just issue a set fines for every day that that offense is occurring, and with the option to still summons and go to court for a removal or something of that nature. So what this is just giving us is a little bit of ability to enforce without having to spend money to go through the court system. And it very well may deter people in and itself because it is a large fee. So the idea that I can just come and drop my trailer and pay nothing and look at me, there is some recourse now, and they will have to, and they'll have to provide all this information. So now we know that they're on somebody's property they should be. We just have a little bit more control. Is it perfect? Maybe not, but we can work those bugs out.
I think one of the parts that I really liked about the bylaw is that now we're asking them, where is your waste going? Where's your gray water going? Where's your black water going? And we're saying that they have to have a plan. They have to tell us the company that's coming to take away their waste and how is it happening. And that all has to be approved, as well as they have to meet all of the setbacks. They have to be away from the EP zones and the lot lines. So if a lot is just entirely too small, it still can't happen because there's a lot of regulations here still.
I sort of like this. I get real nervous about going to court for a whole bunch of reasons, which I'm certainly not going to get into here. I like what Councillor West has said because it does, we do know where people are and we can do things about what's out there, as you've just mentioned, Amanda. Is there something here though, like I drove by one tonight and it looks like a bomb lit up. Seriously, it looks like this place exploded with material. Literally 15 vehicles, bonfires, like you name it. Would that cover this?
I think that still falls back onto just a general yard maintenance concern.
Okay.
So we can hit them with two things.
So do we have that? Like,
Yeah,
okay.
we have a yard maintenance.
so another place that a trailer just moved into looked really nice. Nice trailer sat there till he showed up. Now there's a picnic table, a used car covered, a couple of 3 doors, an outhouse, you name it. It went from being really nice to a piece of junk. And now people have to look at it. So if we can come up with something that we can police with fire and bylaws and everything else, and if they want to play that game, we'll play the game with them as long as they abide by the rules. The same as the people that live in houses have to abide by rules and law. These people are not gypsies.